Every case initially goes through what we call a file setup phase. And that phase is essentially just gathering all the information that we can at the outset, whether that's police reports, individual medical records that may already exist, and any other witness statements that might be floating around out there. The process can sometimes take a little while. It all depends on how complex the case is, how complex the injuries are. Those kinds of things will all determine how long it takes to get the file set up so that we can move into the next phase. Once a client gets done with the file setup phase, we put them into what we call the treatment phase. The treatment phase is all about medical care. Every client who comes to us with some sort of catastrophic injury needs medical care. And that client's sole job, once we get the file set up, is to get that care, do what their doctor tells them to do, and get better. We always try to work closely with every medical care provider that each client has, but communication with our client is also very, very important, because the client is the one who knows what's going on, what's happening, what hurts, what doesn't, what's getting better, and what's not. So anytime a client goes into the treatment phase, we simply ask that the client communicate with us and just let us know what's going on. Keep notes about what's going on so we don't forget, and share that information with us. And of course, if a client is having trouble finding the medical care they need, we always want them to get in touch, because we know people who can sometimes help with those sorts of things. Once our clients get to the point where they're better, they're back to the baseline from where they were before the accident, or their doctor tells them this is as good as it's going to get, we move from the treatment phase into what we call the demand phase. In the demand phase, we're collecting all the medical records that have been created during the course of our patient's care. And we collect all of the other information that maybe hadn't been gathered up before, whether that's investigative material, whether that's witness statements, anything that may be relevant to the case. We take all of that information and we put it together in what we call a demand package. That demand package is then sent off to an insurance adjuster or the at-fault party to let them know what our case looks like and let them know that we're seeking justice for our clients. Once we've reached a resolution with the at-fault's insurance company or even the at-fault party, we can sometimes make a claim called an underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage claim. That coverage is insurance that our clients would have bought on their own prior to the accident, and it covers any deficit in the amount of insurance that the other party has and the medical bills, care, and damages that our clients have. Once we get done with the discovery process, we take all the information that we've gathered throughout the discovery process and go to trial. Going to trial is that thing everybody sees in the movies and on TV. We do opening statements, we examine witnesses, and we do closing arguments, and ultimately give the case to a jury. Now, during that whole period of time, simply because we're in litigation doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go to trial. There are plenty of opportunities in between the filing of a complaint and a jury trial in order to resolve your case still, depending on what we learn during the course of the litigation phase. At any point in time during the life of a client's case, we can move into what we call the settlement phase. And that's usually good news. That means we've convinced the other side to pay for the harm that they have caused. Once we've been able to do that, we negotiate the medical bills that are still outstanding and need to be paid, and then we can get our clients paid for the harm that has been done to them. Once we've resolved a client's case, either through a settlement or through a jury verdict, it's time to close that client's file. And of course, this is a phase we hope to get every single one of our clients to. And we want to make sure that they know if they have any questions or concerns about how the case went or what their ultimate resolution was, they can always call or write. Our doors are always open, and our phones are always on.